Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing DVA. This is a 4.4K scrim. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit. And if you are looking to get coaching yourself, similar to what you're going to be seeing here, you can join my Discord in the description below. Rest of that will be obvious from here. So first off, this is a scrim. This is organized play. These people talk to each other, have some idea what they're doing, have played with each other before, which will cause me to be a little harsher on the team execution, than I would be in a ladder review. And what we look at here in terms of the two teams out the gate, because this is a scrim code, we don't have the dead time before. You can see we're starting right in the match here at 3:54. We do see the comps that they're running. What's being run over by the other team is a pretty standard comp right here. This is a Zen ball comp, choosing to use Diva. Sometimes you'll see Diva in these, sometimes you'll see Sigma in them. Perfectly valid. Then over here, we're running a very similar comp, except we're running Anna instead. I don't particularly like this change. It's not like, oh my god, how dare you make this change. I don't particularly like it. The Zen really gives you a lot more pressure. Yes, the Anna gives you nano. The Anna gives you nano, and that's cool for your Echo. Don't get me wrong. Like that's okay. The Mercy versus Brig is fine. That's a somewhat meaningless. It's not a meaningless change. It obviously makes a difference, but both of those make good sense and are reasonable. I'm less happy to see the Anna here. If we feel like we need the Anna, it's probably because our Diva is taking too much damage. It's probably because our Diva doesn't understand that she sort of has to play a very low resource Diva if she's going to play Diva here. And if we're really struggling with that, we might want to consider playing Sigma instead, because Zen brings a lot more to this comp in terms of enabling your Tracer, Ball, Echo plays, in terms of giving you better, stronger spam, actually allowing you to fight a wider variety of comps. Yeah, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and get into it. Hey, Blah, what's up? Okay, so let's go back here for a second.
Defend objective A.
In a scrim situation, I absolutely do. Yeah, in a regular ladder review, I wouldn't say play something else, or I wouldn't say, oh, your teammates need to do this. But this is a scrim situation. They're expected to be able to play the entire off-tank pool. They're expected to have team compositions that work well. Absolutely. Okay, so here you are. Why? What are we doing here? Like, that's really weirdly timed. You've staged your Tracer out here, but you pulled the pile drive. Don't pull the trigger on this pile drive so early. Like, if your ball pulls the trigger on this pile drive so early, your Tracer isn't ready to go in yet. Your Tracer would much prefer we pull the trigger on the pile drive over here. So let's rewind and show this. So here you are.
Defend objective A.
Your Echo's spamming, which is fine. Their ball's done that. And I don't know if you just got booped or what, but we do not want this engage here. We want this engage on this side. This side allows our Tracer to contribute. It allows our Echo to continue to use this to fight it effectively. This is our first kill box. We are not doing a kill box over here. It's this right here, and we might go hard and try to get an elimination here. We might force cooldowns out. I don't really care. I also probably wouldn't have tucked you back this far, because I knew we were very, very likely to take this dive here, so you could have actually just tucked yourself. Well, you know what? This is fine. I'm going to deal with this one. But again, if this is our first kill box, what is our Anna doing back here? Like, is team? Hello? Hello? Like, our ball slam's too far forward. I expect that we'd want this as our first dive location, not this as our first dive location. If we're going to go with this as our first dive location, we need to have our Anna here or rotating up here to be able to support this in some way, or rotating up to here to be able to support this in some way. Otherwise, there's just very little point. So, like, I don't love this. If this wasn't the plan, and, like, your ball was just supposed to do a quick roll through and maybe enable your Echo, and they got caught, maybe that's what's going on, and you're going in to help them, I still expect other people to move to help this a little bit. But maybe you're not actually fighting, maybe you're just going to help peel. Okay? So you are just trying to help peel. That's going to be very costly, but you do have the Ana to get you back up.
I need healing.
And now you guys are totally crushed. Like, I do not like this. If you see how this goes from a map control standpoint, you can now see, here you guys are, you're playing a hypermobile dive comp, and Tracer is the only one who isn't just tucked in this group here. This doesn't work. This is too narrow. Other team is going to have access to going like this, and going like this, and you guys are going to lose. Like, I can already tell you looking at this, you guys are going to lose just based on the map control here. It's possible Tracer's going to bail you out. She is behind the enemy team. She didn't let herself get squished back in quite the way the rest of you did. Though, did that cost her recall? Thank goodness it didn't. But, like, this doesn't really work for us. It's about, when playing this sort of comp, it's really about understanding, okay, we had our angles so that we could trigger a dive right here, or we could trigger a dive right here, or we could trigger a dive right here, or we could trigger a dive on the point. Or we could trigger multiple of those dives. Maybe a dive here. If we don't like what we get another one here. But we can't all just let ourselves get squished back like this, because now we're in a good dive location for them. Like, they get to be diving onto the point and onto us at the same time. That's not going to work. You are much more interested in, you're controlling this. Your Tracer is controlling this. Your Echo is controlling up here, and you have your angles, and you threaten them from this direction and this direction, and they can't stage a good dive onto the point, onto your Ana, who's able to heal this direction, whatever, without first clearing one or both of these angles. That's what this is about, because you guys are doing a dive battle here. So I do not like, set my rewind to be less, but I do not at all like that we're going in here, we're doing this, I guess it's to bail your ball out, but honestly, your ball's okay. He's not great, but he's okay. I would not have gone in this far from this. And if you were going to go in this far from this, you had to tuck yourself over here harder so that you at least had cover against these guys. Like, okay, you're in here DMing, and you step to the left and you stop DMing, so that you can use the wall to hide to recover your boosters. You can shoot these guys in the back as they're going after your ball. You're not continuing to use. This DM isn't protecting your ball anymore. This DM is just protecting you. I don't want that. I want you to close the angle so that you don't have to use the DM to protect you anymore, and you can shoot at these guys in the back. Instead, you're like waddling away, having spent all your DM here. No. If they'd been faster to move the Discord to you, for example, you lose your mech there.
I need healing.
So Temporal has a different set of rules for scrims. Yes.
Time to raise my APM.
Sure. Okay. Fine. It's going to be tough. You probably need to tuck yourself back in there. Sure. You can micro better, but that's fine. The macro's more important.
Defense matrix activated.
Take your rest.
Okay, she gave you plenty of health. Why aren't you retaking control? Echo's got left. We should go right. Fine. Okay. You can go help battle up there if you want. If you want to go join up here and you fight from here and Tracer's going to come in from here, are you guys going to get this ball? Probably not, but this is a relatively safe place. Is it perfect safety? Absolutely not. But it's got high ground against them. They have to use abilities to get you. You can drop back down and tuck in here a little bit. Like, it's reasonably good. The issue, of course, is, again, you guys are not on the same page with your Ana for where you're fighting. Like, your Ana probably needs to be thinking a little bit more about here. Probably needs to be thinking a little bit more about here if you guys keep planning on doing this tank trading out here. Like, they're just going to win these tank trade battles with their Harmony and Discord Orb plus Zen spam, while your Ana isn't relevant to the fight if you guys keep trying to trade out here. You can't trade out here. You're not set up for this. You instead need to be going, okay, we are going to hold our angles here and here, where Anna can support us, can use her greater than Zen healing to support us, though really the Discord plus Harmony matters more. And you can go, okay, we'll challenge you, we'll poke you, we won't let you in. We will keep control of our lanes. You are battling to keep control of your lanes with where your Anna is set up so that they can't dive your Anna. You're not battling to dive them here or here. If you were, your Anna would have to be over here or over here. That's like you're forcing a 5v6 here. And you might be thinking, oh, no, we're going to fight their backline, and it gives us more time while their divers have to go through and fight our Anna. Well, no, not really. And like when you guys go back to get health and get healed up by their Anna, that lets their divers come in and break you or force their way past you and get Anna because you've expended resources in a 5v6. Okay, good. I don't want to booster after that necessarily. Like, I'm pretty serious about this. They used recall. If I think they're really empty, yeah, we can chase them down. But honestly, I don't have much need to chase this down. I also don't think this is coming in. I'm probably just going to waddle back here and fight from over here. But you do have people over here, so you can go. Sure, fine. Not sure what that DM was about. Okay. What are you DMing? Your Mercy's fine. Good. That Trace is low. Not low enough that you can get her back there. It's fine. Leave. You got the health back. Contribute. Just put some pressure on the Tracer. She's very uncomfortable when you do that. Yep, there you go. Okay, don't let them stage. You should be okay with their D.Va gone, but we still don't want to let the rest of them get into stage. Like, enough people are already chasing down the ball. We're chasing down the ball. You just heard the ball to your left? Sure? Probably not. That booster doesn't really make sense. It's not like, oh, it peeled for your Anna. It's not like, oh, it leaves you in a great spot. Like, you're trying to scare it away. You're trying to get an extra 100, 200 damage on it, and that matters. That's not nothing, because then that's more time it's getting health back, so it's a less good challenge it makes on your Anna or on your front line if they choose to counter dive you, something like that. But probably not worth actually spending the boosters, not worth pulling yourself out there. Why do they have Shu on support? Isn't he a pro player? I don't know that it's that Shu. It might be. It might be that Shu ringing for them. That's not unheard of. We get, pros ring for high-level scrims not that infrequently. But what was I saying? But I don't know if it's that Shu or if it's just someone who's grabbed the name, etc. And if they do, it's probably because, well, who they're missing is their flex support, and they went, this is what we need, and the person went, okay, sure, I'll fill as that. I can do that at a, this is a 4.4 scrim, I was told, so I can do that at that level in an off roll, whatever. Maybe right shoe is the pro and left shoe is the scammer. They come in pairs usually. Could be. Okay, so here you are. You chased out here for the ball, and then the ball comes in. And he's really early, and you probably just destroy that. Why are you leaving? You know that ball's not in great shape. I'm happy to micro-missile that ball down. Like, yeah, he's got adaptive shield. You're not going to totally take him down. But I'm happy. These guys are in pretty close, this Tracer and this Hammond, to your Anna at this point. I'm pretty willing to fight this. Like, yes, I've been belly aching about control your angles, don't let them in. But these two got in. If these two got in, these are the two who are most likely to take out your Anna. Yes, obviously, their Echo can take out your Anna, but I'm gonna be honest, their Echo is not having a good time, is going to generally be challenged by your Echo, who has a Mercy when theirs only has Brig packs. Like, you would sort of be least worried about their Echo. What you're trying to do is you're trying to stop their stage dives, and these two already got in. So you need to either put a lot of pressure on the ball, put a lot of pressure on the Tracer, or relieve pressure on your Anna with DM and such. But the easiest way to relieve pressure on your Anna as she crosses her legs there, I guess she's got to go potty, is going to be to put more pressure on this already low ball. This ball's going to leave if you take another 200 HP off of it. Like, it's gotta. So just do that. Instead, you're spending boosters to go out here? Why? To support the nano play? I don't care. The nano play just means that the nano Valk play out here means that those two are fine, and they hopefully are going to win on their own, even though you're down Tracer, while you make sure you don't lose Anna. No? No? Goodbye, Anna. It was nice knowing you. Those two were down cooldowns too, but still. Yeah. That was wrong. Again, this was a melt the ball harder thing. If you needed to use these boosters, they would have been up here or up here, probably up here for a little more safety. Anna can heal you up a little bit more. You made that ball scared. Tracer is not hard to put a little bit of chip damage into, even at D.Va, even at medium short range, and make her go, okay, I don't like this anymore, and leave. Like, that was not what we wanted to do. I guess this is Shu that was left behind. There you go.
D.Va re-engaging.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
Mm-hmm.
Soldier 76.
Routing power to forward shield.
Okay. Take space. Take space.
Flight routine activated.
Amazed by the actions per minute. I hear you. I hear you. They do a lot. It's true.
Adaptive circuits engaged. D.Va.
Sure. Okay. You're doing this. We'd like our pressure on the purple one there. Like that less. Don't love that that pulse bomb was allowed to get off. So here we are. We don't have boosters. This is probably just DM right here. Yeah, this is probably DM. You had your Mercy in there. Your DM would have covered both your Mercy and your Echo. There's 3 opponents right here. This is probably worth DMing over to protect your Mercy and your focusing beam. I get why you didn't, though. And then we lose Mercy in front of us. You never had a chance to DM that pulse bomb, though? Okay. And you were sort of waiting on your boosters, so I get why you weren't just interface. Good cancel. Good eat. I mean, you could DM it, or you could just step out of the way. You don't have meaningful damage at this range. Okay, force your way out. Your team's ready. Force your way out. Use DM, help force your team out. Force your team out. Go left, go left, go left. I promise you wanted to go left, clear this, get yourself sort of set up, and then be ready to go, okay, we've got this. Like, this is just you standing in their line of sight for longer. We don't really like this. You can see your ball and Echo are already set up over here. You had the option of either going, okay, I'll go left and I'll dive in from here, or going, oh, look, maybe I want to go this way instead to come in on them from behind. That's not usually going to be your job on D.Va, but hey, you could have helped make sure this was clear for for Soldier now, and then you see a ball there. And oh, this is your job to deal with, to not let this ball stage appropriately. Okay. No boosters, okay. You've decided that those two are okay. I'm not sure I agree that those two are okay. Sure.
has reached the checkpoint.
This is happening. Cart's plenty far away. I wanted you to go left. I just saw Echo take a little bit of a leftward trajectory. We just heard the pile drive. Now, we're probably not going to finish Ball if we go after him here. I'm still not convinced that we don't go after Ball here. Like, okay, the three of us deal with Ball. Great, no problem. There's still time on the cart. Then while Ball is missing, while Ball is out getting health packs, Anna will heal you up very quickly, and you guys will be able to hit a nice dive where you potentially go over, your Ball and Echo come in from this direction, your Soldier peeks from here, and their Ball is missing because their Ball went too early. He's off tempo. You can punish this. That's what should have happened here. They're gonna, there's no one for these guys to fight. You see that? These guys aren't doing anything. They're rallying. Their Ball's in. Their Ball's in. They're rallying, and what they're getting off their rally is a mistime engaged and the cart moving a little bit. We still are going to have plenty of time to stop the cart. Now, unfortunately, your Ball is also adjusting over here to help. I'm not totally sure why. You guys, the three of you, could have handled this. If Ball comes over to help too, sure, whatever, I guess. But the reality is, you should have gone and helped this from the get-go. Now you decide you want to help it, but your Ball's also going, and I don't want you to help it anymore because now I do start to worry about the cart. Now that I see that your Ball came over to this side and is reacting to it, and he's going to come peel with pile drive or whatever he wants to use here, like, okay, that's okay, I guess. It's not how I would have distributed the labor between my tanks given how things were set up, but you now look at this and go, hey,
Matrix activated.
who's called that they're anchoring point? Your Tracer's not doing it. You don't have a Tracer anymore. Maybe your duplicated Echo is going to do it because she's gone Diva, but I doubt she wants to anchor. I suspect she wants to just chuck self-destruct after self-destruct after self-destruct. So you need to be ready to anchor. I'm not saying you're going to anchor instantly and you instantly go touch cart right now, but you don't use booster to come over here. You know this. You know this. And the solution to this is a simple I'll anchor, you anchor call. Usually you don't tell other people to anchor. You affirmatively say I'm going to anchor so that you can avoid any confusion there because you don't necessarily know their cooldown status as well as they do. But like, if you'd gone immediately here, no problem. I would have expected Ball to anchor. I'm surprised Ball came over, but since you saw him come over, you then decided to use your boosters to peel after you'd seen Ball had already come over here and gone in ahead of you. That doesn't really work for me.
Has reached the checkpoint.
What does OA and DB in the scrim code stand for? I guess the other ones, but not those. Okay, let's take a look. Does direct or damage dealt, damage taken. DB? I don't see a DB. Oh, there. Trying to remember. Offensive assists and defensive assists? Oh, really? I don't find this stuff all that useful, to be honest. I've used them before, but they keep changing what gets shown where, etc. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. That's fine. Sure. Damage blocked. Yeah, that makes more sense. Except that not everyone should have that as a stat, and we do see it's there for everyone, so it can't really be that. I mean, that was the first place my brain went to. We could look it up. I mean, it's a SATA scrim code, I imagine, and we could just go look it up if you do a quick search for that. Like I said, it's never been all that important to me.
Time to raise my APM.
Okay, they've already got the point. No the Emperor? It was really slow to the Emperor. Hey, Enrique. No, we haven't seen any amazing self-destruct multi-eliminations yet. If that's what you're here for. You like to block damage with your face? I get it. Oh, there it is! There it is! Yeah, that's about what we expected.
Tactical visor.
It's fine. Struggling a little with the tracking there.
Mission. Stay out of my way.
What are you up to? The cart's not going to go in. You're fine.
Northeast here.
Are you just waiting here to get healed? Are you swapping into Brawl? Swapping into Brawl.
Name's McCree.
Okay, cool.
Reinhardt, at your service.
You only exist for big bombs, big eats, and remix. Okay.
Time to raise my APN.
I don't want you here. I don't want you here stacked on your Reinhardt. You could be here if your plan is to let them in a little and then play from like here, but I probably wanted you here. It feels like it sucks because they're going to just walk in and shoot you from above, but they're not really going to do that because your Kree and your BAP are going to just shred anyone that walks up there to do that. And if they do, you can leave with boosters. And if they don't, if they turn to try to clear you, they get shot in the back. And if they turn to go like this, you shoot them in the back, you can boop them in to break them up, all sorts of good stuff. So I probably wanted you here. It's not the best thing in the world, but I probably wanted it. This is a little too far away to be relevant. You could have done a lurking play here because you actually did have plenty of time and just waited here and then done a boop in because you have a brawl comp and you had all the time in the world. You literally had all the time in the world between pushes here to go quietly wait here and then come through with a booster when they start to advance to knock someone in. Because knocking anyone in on this team, your team just eats them for breakfast because you've swapped into brawl.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Reinhardt.
This is an interesting place to live. Okay, I like it. Sure.
Round 1 complete.
The 7-person or the 7 elimination self-destructs. Yeah, I hear ya. This
Switching
happens.
sides.
Zoning bomb? It wasn't fully a zoning bomb. Like, you could call it that, but part of what you run into is she was trying to break up the Transcendence push. Her team was going to get pushed. Like, it wasn't an amazing bomb, but it wasn't a terrible one either. The opposing team was pushing with Transcendence, and that self-destruct gave them something else to think about. It made the Transcendence a less attacking Transcendence, because the team couldn't just couldn't just death ball forward in their Transcendence and be like, we're going to fight, and we're going to fight with superpowers and 300 healing per second, because they had to go, nope, this will eliminate us through it. We have to think about dodging this, not getting hit by it, and that relieves a lot of the pressure that would have been on her team during that Transcendence. So it wasn't terrible. I wouldn't have elected for it personally, because the mech was too healthy, there was too much DM left, there was too much health left. I need a little bit more out of that, and the Transcendence wasn't really scary enough. I'd say the first 2 seconds of that Transcendence were going to basically be wasted anyways from an offensive standpoint, but it wasn't like, oh my god, this is a great F-bomb or anything.
Hey Diva, who's your mechanic? Good work.
Yeah, because it opens them up for the visor, but that's still 1 less ult out of the team economy. Something like that.
Taking off.
5, 4.
Scrim code. Let's play some guess and check.
Ready for battle. 5. Ready for battle. 4.
Oh, we have a super chat coming in from Adam in Charge for $1.99 saying temporal is poor and bald. Everyone laugh. 0-7 with 3 tomatoes. Okay, well you guys better pick up your tomatoes and start throwing them. I'm going to have to make. Okay. Fair enough. Adam in Charge once again with the super chat for $1.99 saying temporal is poor and bald. Everyone laugh. 0-7 with tomatoes. Thank you, Adam in Charge. I appreciate that super chat. needs that room for extra brain power.
Get through this.
Kidding, right? So, here we are. You guys have adjusted your comp slightly. This makes more sense now. You guys have gone away from the Hammond and into the Winston. You've also dropped the Mercy in favor of the Brig. And the Ana makes a lot more sense when we have the Winston here. Absolutely. And they're defending with a double bubble comp. They're going double bubble version of this. You're going dive version of this. Both of them are going to be playing somewhat slower, I'm going to say. That's maybe not the best wording for it, but they're playing a little more around, okay, let's do soft dives. Let's do repeated soft dives to set up angles, to charge up bolts. And then once we have angles, maybe once we have ults, we'll go in. And in the case of double bubble, once we have energy as well, we'll go in. That's okay. Like, that's okay with me, but you do still want to then set up your angle. So I do not expect to see everyone stacked up on, left side here. I hate it. I hate it. It makes me so sad that 5 of you are stacked together. Tracer's trying. Tracer is trying. Is there a reason Echo can't be trying up over here? Can't be trying over here? I mean, I would be perfectly okay with Tracer goes up here. D.Va finds herself out here. Echo's thinking about trying to maintain height, playing over here. Winston is playing here, thinking about it, and Anna's, playing from house, whatever, playing from back here, whatever, and is ready to go, hey, Winston is doing some trading, whatever, and we are good to go, and we can threaten in from multiple directions. Are they going to fight you on some of those flanks? Why, yes. Yes, they are. So, I would much rather fight them on those flanks, which I expect us to win, because Tracer greater than Soldier for that flank battle, taking those things. That's what I would expect. D.Va's also greater than Zarya for the thing that we're describing. These are both more pokey heroes, where these ones are more able to challenge, are able to get control, are able to help get control of the flanks. You could go, hey, Echo over here, and then work your D.Va up over here. But I think your Winston will probably work up over here, so that's fine. Evolving, no, he's evolving. Okay. Sure. That's a lot of DM. So you come out here, you take this out, you see, oh no, there's a problem because there's a soldier. Okay, so you DM the soldier a little bit, but you're going to get behind that in no time, right? No time? Why are you drifting back into the middle? What? That's like an extra 3/4 of a second of DM you used instead of just closing it here. Okay, maybe an extra half second, but that's like an extra half second of DM that you used instead of just, okay, cool, and tucking back here. Or as soon as you eliminate the Winston, yeah, DM for a moment and then step back here. Like, you just put yourself in the open more than you needed to, and now you have no DM. But we do have our angle. I like that. I'm not convinced I'd have used DM for that Echo there, but I can take it. Sure. Shoot him through the... Okay. Are you going to now scoot right? I don't want you to DM him. What exactly is DMing him doing here? Are you DMing him because you're in his face fighting him? Are you DMing him because he's about to shoot people on your team? Like, if you have the option, you don't need to DM someone just because they'd hurt you. If you're positioned well, you can just go scoot. Like, you might flick DM on for one tick as you scoot behind cover. That's what you might do. Do you know that your Echo is right behind you, and are you blocking for them while your Echo shoots here? I don't really think that's what's going on. To you, this just looks like, oh, I'm generically blocking. Like, okay, so you scoot behind cover, you DM for one tick, scoot behind cover, swing your DM out, and your team's going to figure it out. They'll get angles. Or you can choose to dive this guy. I don't think you were ready to dive this guy yet. I think you just not letting this guy get value for a moment without spending your whole DM while your team cleans up what they seem to be winning up here in the Zarya fight makes more sense. But that's okay. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about being a lower resource diva and why some people are running Sigma with comps. Not this comp, this one's a full-on dive comp, but with the Zen comp, for example, that we were talking about earlier. Because you're taking extra damage by doing some of this, let me stand here in DM, let me stand here in DM type stuff, instead of, okay, I use a tick of DM and I scoot out and swing my DM and then drop my DM when I can. Oh, I stand here, I'm not shooting you at a range where I hurt you, I'm DMing, so I scoot over here and drop my DM. I don't care that I'm not shooting at you anymore. Like,
Objective A captured. Escort the payload.
Temporal is torturing us with this noise. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Flight routine activated. I have your back.
Routing towards forward barrier.
Payload is on its way.
Why? Why do you think you can do this?
Payload is on its way.
Routing towards forward barrier.
Cool. I hate it. I've done my scouting. I know where important things are. There's a Zarya over here. There's an Echo over here. Cool. Did my scouting. I'm done. I don't need to be here anymore. Echo does way more damage to you at this range than you do to her. Zarya even does better damage to you at this range than you do to her with thrown right clicks. So we don't need to stand in a place where they can see us. We just don't. Like, yeah, we have DM, but like, we're gonna spend DM so we can interweave going pew 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 halfway across, a third of the way across the map for like 8 damage. No, thank you. I'm good. I'm good. I'm perfectly good with keeping my DM, other than having spent a little bit of it for scouting here, for figuring out where people are. And I'm gonna go tuck over here for now, or I am going to booster across to here for now. Like, or I am going to tuck in here for now. I'm not going to just stand here and let them shoot at me. Why would I do that? I'm not a ranged hero. Yes, but now they're engaging and you're at 40% DM. Why?
Booster on.
You chose not to peel the Winston? You chose to go in for the hard dive. Interesting choice.
Shoot you down.
Okay, you had enough people who couldn't make it up there. That's why you made the decision you did. You figured they'd be able to peel? Sure.
Time to raise my DVA.
Bring her in. Yup. Melee,
Get through
leave.
this. Ejecting.
That wasn't wrong. Close the angle. What? Okay.
Get the payload moving.
I'm not trying to reload it in the open, but okay.
Payload moving.
Yep.
Let's all work
Put
together.
pressure on them to either eliminate you or give you the opportunity to shoot them. Yep. Pull away. Good. Oh boy, that was not a great place to be at the very end there, but okay. What?
Game on.
You have comms that I don't have here. Obviously, you always have comms that I don't have, but yeah, I didn't realize that Triana was right there. That's why you're staying here on the monkey rather than going for that, rather than dealing with the soldier. Okay. But why? You hit this.
Game on.
Bubble's over. Okay. So now you're gonna hit the booster, right? Like, this monkey doesn't have leap. You know that you're protecting your Ana here, so you just instantly hit a booster. Even though you're immediately gonna cancel it, and even though he's gonna hit this a little bit, he's still probably gonna drift this way a bit. Like, it tears him off your Ana better, gives your Ana more survivability, doesn't really change where you are at all, keeps you in his face. Like, where's the booster? Now you're in a situation where you can't booster him, because boostering him is mostly going to take him closer to you, and he's already been on it too long. Okay. That's basically how we expected that to go. Good thing Ana still had nade left to go with that health pack. Because yes, the timing was such that he, by the time you boosted him, he had leap back, which doesn't really work for you. Interesting.
Taking off.
Okay.
On my target.
I expect that this is Scrim SR. 4.4K is Team Scrim SR.
I'm back in the game.
Maybe bluff, maybe.
Enemy radar contact.
Highlight ready to roll. Hiya. Hiya.
This was pretty darn predictable. You guys get grabbed.
Adding power to forward shield.
Like, this was always going to happen. You know the grab is in play. You guys are rotating up through an enclosed space. You think you're okay maybe because you have rally, which is sort of true. Hey, you have rally. But this is always exactly what I expected to happen. Like, if my team is walking up through here, and I'm D.Va, I'm probably not stacking with them. I'm probably going outside, and I'm boostering up from over here, and showing up and surprising the Zarya by being able to DM over my team, or seeing the Zarya back here or back here immediately and being able to DM over them. Like, if you understand the ult tracking that, yeah, she has grab, and you commit your team to, we're going to walk through a narrow enclosed space that is a choke that the opponents get to set up around, like, oh yeah, we're probably going to get grabbed from a different direction as we do that. So, like, your solution is you go in, you get your timing right, and you use booster to, even if you have to feed a little to do it, to feed a little to go up, yep, and I show up here, etc. It shouldn't really be a feed. Your timing should be right so that it works. But, like, that would be what you do. And then either you eat the grav because their plan was to use it and they potentially didn't see you because you kind of came in at a weird angle here. You don't eat the grav, but you deny her the grav until your team is rotated through the vulnerable spot, which sort of makes your team able to enact their plan a little more, which means even if they use the grav, it becomes worse. Or you then drop the DM, or you didn't raise the DM unless you saw her grav, and you've still got DM to play with, to mess with her, etc. if she did see you early. But, like, I don't love walking through here with your team, and if you did walk through with your team, it's really weird that you just went in like this, rather than immediately swiveling, being head on a swivel to figure out where's the Zarya, because it was time for them to grab you. Like, your ult tracking tells you that grab was what they were going to try to beat you with this fight, and I actually assumed this was bait. I assumed you were doing this specifically to bait the grab. And maybe you are. Maybe you're thinking we want to bait the grab because we think we can survive the grab with Rally and Nano and that we're still going to win. But I'd like to level that up still with, Divas boosting up from out here to get back like that sort of thing. If you didn't suck, you would have been the champion. L. Thank you, Adam. Thank you. Okay. And you do still win, because you had Rally and Nano, and that's fine.
Don't mess with me.
But that's not really you winning. Are you going to stage properly? Stage properly? Stage properly? Stage properly?
Echo online.
No. I don't need this.
The payload.
I'm good so far. No problem. I don't love standing here. I think you're choosing to stand here specifically to block the Ana healing, which I'll deal with. That's not going to bother me too much. It's not that that's not going to bother me. That's fine, is a better way to put that. But now the monkey's left. So you can DM this for the moment if you want, but you scoot yourself left while DMing it. They're still not going to walk into you. They're not going to walk into a D.Va that has boosters. like this and is then going to clobber them from the side with close range damage, with the ability to boop them away and knock them away so that they can't retreat. Like, they're not going to do that. And she can't heal her monkey anymore because the monkey's gone. The monkey got booped out of her line of sight, jumped out of her line of sight, whatever. So this single tick of DM is fine. Now step left so you don't have to spend more. What is this? What is this? No! No! Either you're going in or you're not. This isn't the Rhine dance. This is the diva dance, I guess, where you're just like, no, let me stand in the doorway and DM and not DM and DM and not DM. Like, no, just leave the doorway. If your monkey's ahead of you walking in, that's fine. You can be like, sure, I'm going to DM to protect my monkey from the diva in his face while he does massive cleave on like 3 or 4 people. That's not what we're looking at right here, but that could be a thing. But right now you're like, I'm gonna DM battle you. I'm gonna wave my DM into your DM and like, oh yeah, no, just close the friggin' angle. Like, it's not that hard. The bronze within says that's the play. Run in and queue. No, that's what you're saying, blah. That's Enrique. Again, if we're actually willing to go in, that's fine, but that was too long for that. Like, you had time to body block to not let the Winston get heals, turn around to DM for a tick, scoot out this way or this way, and then once it was clear your Winston wanted to go, then go in with him with your boosters and DM over her so she doesn't sleep or whatever. Like, you had the option to do that, and you instead were like, let me spend half 3/4 of a second with DM shenanigans in the doorway. No.
Activated. I'll take care of you.
Payload in transit.
Does this just feel good because you're eating damage? Like, I'm eating damage so it feels good? Like, you can DM it because, oh shoot, I'm taking damage, but you're DMing it as you're stepping out of the way. And then if as you turn your DM, because as you step out of the way with your DM up, you're going to turn because you don't need it to protect you anymore. And if you see, oh, it's still covering someone who's in a bad spot, okay, you can continue to DM. But you're using DM for yourself here, or you're using DM assuming people are behind you. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Let's get yourself out and swing your DM back in to potentially cover people who need it, because you actually cover more area if you're DMing in this direction across your team rather than in this direction at them. And you can see, oh no, they're behind the cart, and shut it off faster. Like, you do eventually get back here, and I appreciate that, but you can be faster on this.
I'm going to shoot you down.
Sure. That's a lot.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
This.
Yeah, okay.
Winston.
Suiting
You were
up.
low on DM, you got one from it. It was when your team was close enough to engage. It was when the other team had committed to an engage with the duplicate. Fine. Here, deal with that in your backline. Deal with the stuff in your backline. You didn't realize Lucio was purple quickly enough. That's a little early with the DM, but I understand it. Totally get it. You've got some DM to play with here. Sure. Good. One more melee. Good.
Let me touch that up.
You hate that bomb, even though you said Q 2 minutes ago? Well, it was a perfectly fine bomb, so I'm sorry you hate it, Blah. If they all push, it goes faster. Get out and push! Sadly, no.
Time to raise my APM. Get prepared.
Okay, so you have a Doomfist now.
I'm going to shoot you down. Get prepared.
Are we just gonna, like, spend DM?
I'm going to shoot you down.
So here you are, you're sort of doing this. We're DMing to protect our monkey, I guess? Sort of? Oh, he's gone? Okay, cool.
Get through this.
What are we doing exactly? We don't have micro missiles anymore. Why are we here? Are we diving someone to clear them? Are we diving with our monkey to help clear soldier? Are we going up here so that we're way more annoying to their echo? Are we stepping out to the side? Like, are we getting to the cart to put more pressure on the team with the cart and using the cart to break line of sight? All of those could be interesting options. They're not all equally good, but all of them could be interesting options. They're certainly more interesting than, well, I'm standing here in main to ineffectively swap between DMing and poking at range with left click. Huh? Are you diving someone or aren't you? If you're not diving someone, that's fine. Close the angle. If you want to put here to push on cart, that's fine. But now you don't have... You've used half your DM, and your DM was on lockout when the visor started. We don't like that. Scoot right. Scoot right. Why are you going back? The DM won't hold. Fine. Fine. I know you're scared here. It's actually hard to push your team. If your team is over there and you're right here, it's actually hard for them to round the corner and push your team. And generally, it's pretty hard for them to push you too. And even if they do, you'd still have boosters to do what you ended up doing. Like, they push into you and they get shot in the back sort of thing. That's how we're thinking about this. And oh, look, you and Brig over here, Anna and then Tracer over there. Winston's going to jump back and join these two over here. Works for me. That's actually hard for them to push into with their nanovisor. Brig unsurprisingly goes down there. Anna unsurprisingly goes down there. Yeah.
안녕. Payload stop. Let's get it moving.
It's like sidewalk crossing buttons. They're just there to make people think they can change lanes.
Reinhardt at your service.
Some of them do things, some are just cosmetic. Okay. Sure.
Enemies over there.
What did this get you? Cool. Scoot right. Scoot right. Why are you going back? Why are you using the second tick of DM? You just scoot right. You're behind cover. You're good. You put just as much pressure on the enemies by existing here as you do by standing here with DM up. So just exist here. They already know you're here. That's fine. They're pressured by the fact that they know you're here. That's good. But don't spend the extra DM for it. Like, this is what I'm talking about you're probably playing a diva that's a little too health greedy, and that might be part of why your team is trying to run the Anna in some of these situations where Zen make more sense. This is not one of those. Anna absolutely makes more sense than Zen here. Actually, Bap makes more sense than Zen here, but hey.
APM 좀 올려볼까?
Okay. Cool.
Double kill. Triple kill.
At least they swapped to a semi-brawl comp for last point. Yeah. They did it both directions. That's something they have in their toolkit.
Approaching
I'm not
its
sure I'd have
destination.
used boosters here. Like, yeah, you can boop them away so that they can't retreat back into spawn, and that's got some value, but I'm pretty happy just applying pressure on them from up here, being able to cast DM over them so that nades and sleeps can't get out. I'm pretty happy from here with micro missiles going. Like, I don't really need to get that much closer to this. Oh! Reinhardt's done his job. He touched the enemy spawn door. Not worth as much on third point. Not cool bonus points. You're gonna end up... Really? You didn't... This is probably a self-destruct. Your DM's not in great shape. Your health's at about half. I don't love where you are. You probably ride this one out a little further, and then you turn it back with a self-destruct to try to pop yourself over here, try to pop yourself back, and just, you know, sort of get it caught in this corner or something. Because what you're looking at... You know, maybe slide it along here, but something along those lines, because I don't think you get another booster. Yeah, you don't have the DM to beat him. I don't think you get another booster, and now you're going to be in a really awkward spot for remeching.
Nerf this.
Did I mention awkward spot for remecking? And now you can flash. Okay. Doomfist bailed you out.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Diva.
Shoot you down.
Okay.
Round 2
Okay.
complete.
And that'll be the end of it. So, looking at this, as a team, you guys really need to better get an understanding of playing these angles. Tracer gets it. The rest of your team mostly doesn't. So, like, I'd really like as a team you guys to think about your angles more and think about, hey, are we in line of, we need to have our angles. We need to have our angles and be going, we're contesting the different flank routes, the different angles. We're actually spreading out and contesting them. When you're playing in more divey type comps and more divey type styles, you're not just going to like brute force it down. You guys aren't playing Brawl. You're not playing a 6-man comp, which will mostly cheat and just run it down one angle. They'll use cover to get there, but run it down one angle for the actual engage. You're actually battling. You're actually controlling the different flank routes. That's what you do when you're playing some of these ball diva comps, when you're playing some of this more divey stuff. So actually get control of your lanes there and do your work with them. That's going to be a team-wide thing. There was also that really bad hiccup with who's anchoring. So you guys need an anchor call. And anchoring just means that you're committing that, hey, I'm going to not let the point cap. I'm the one who's watching it. And you can say, I'm next, I'm anchoring, whatever, and then you can swap with your Tracer, or your Ball, your Winston, your Lucio, whatever. So be it if need to, or, when you get eliminated, whatever. I was really disappointed to see that cap that was sloppy. Then for you specifically, like obviously some of this angle stuff will help you, the anchor stuff will help you, but when it comes to you specifically, I'd really like you to like stop thinking of yourself as this hero that's actually good at medium range. You're not. You've got micro missile and it's okay, and you can deny the opponent's medium range value with DM, but you don't deny them medium range value on you with DM and then continue to stand in medium range. Like I want you to go, I don't really want to keep medium range open for very long. When you're DMing medium or long range threats, it's because you're protecting someone else and you actually know who and what you're protecting, not you think someone's behind you. You actually know that they're there. And or you're doing a little bit of scouting because you're playing something divey, or even if you're not, you want some scouting information. You're using a tick of DM to see what's out there because you don't use the tick to see what's out there. You see what's out there and then you have to DM because you open to the angle, and then you scoot back behind cover and swing your DM across. We swing our DM across. So like if we're here and we go, oh yeah, there's something going on there. Okay, tick a DM, close the angle, swing it across. If I need to continue to hold my DM because my Brig is just standing there with her shield down at half health, okay, I'll continue to hold my DM to save her life. But I'm not going to stand here and DM and then continue to DM. For me, I shouldn't have been in a place where I can't get behind cover very quickly for it. And if I have the option to go behind cover, I'm just going to go behind cover. Yes, if I'm in a place I can't go behind cover, yeah, I might just continue to DM to save my mech, whatever, that's fine. But you really shouldn't be in that situation in the first place because you don't like to be in this place unless you just eliminated someone or something like that. Or you got stuck in a bad position because you'd just boosted in to protect someone else, which isn't what's happening a lot here. So it's causing you to be a resource greedy diva. You're using more DM than you should. You're potentially taking more damage than you should. You're not actually good at medium and long ranges. You're good at your ability to get on top of people, and you're good at having some bulk. You're good at some scouting, but you're not actually good at long ranges. So if you're not micro-missiling something at medium or long range, and you're not just doing a quick check of scouting, use the cart, break up line of sight, do things like that. Oh, I can still DM across my team just fine from here to protect them. I can still DM across this doorway. If I'm here and I scoot out, I can still DM across this doorway if I see that my N is there, but I'm also very quickly going to see when my N is left and I can stop DMing sooner. Like, it's just better. And remember, I can't shoot him while I'm DMing anyways. And I don't have any interest in this, like, I'm going to DM for a tick, then I'm going to shoot you for 8 damage, then I'm going to DM for another tick, then I'm going to shoot you for 12 more damage. Forget that. Your DM's way too good to be spending to get, single-digit and low double-digit damage here and there that's never going to finish people. That's not what we're looking for. Not at that range. So that's what I'd give you. I covered 3 things. 2 of those are going to help you and your team. 1 of those is really just for you. That's really where I would go with this. If you or anyone has questions, you can throw them up in chat now. You can leave a comment later if you're watching this in review. I think you told me you were in a scrim right now, so I get it. If other people are looking to get coaching similar to what they saw here, I can do team coaching, I can do individual coaching, the works. You can go ahead and join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, anything upcoming like an Ask Temporal segment where we can handle Overwatch questions, but we'll also be prepped to or be ready, be expecting some more non-Overwatch questions, see when those sorts of things are coming up. Okay. You've been scrimming like 3.4, 3.5 because you got 2 new people this semester. Okay. Yeah, we saw some movement as well. We added 2 people to the team. We graduated 1 last year, and then we effectively made 2 swaps. 1 person is replacing our flex support, and good. Hey, and then we also have a new hit scan that we're using. We're using 2 different people in that role right now. Wow, Tracer gets it, the rest of your team doesn't. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I guess there's the player praise I was searching for. Used to praise for DMs in VOD reviews. He used to praise my DMs in VOD review once before, Anton. Keyword is used to. Used to? Okay. Top 10 saddest anime moments. Hi, I'm finished. Yes, you will comment later. Sounds good, Ego. What do most 4.4K teams struggle with? Is it usually the same concept as this team? I don't know if I'd say it's always that. I'd say there's an order that teams usually tend to struggle with things in. It varies a little from meta to meta because coaches identify different things as more and less important in different metas. But taking appropriate lanes like this and controlling them is pretty common as something that teams don't understand as well as they should or struggle with earlier in the development cycle or earlier in the development cycle with a coach. This is a pretty normal place to start. Yeah, if we were talking in a brawl meta, we might be talking about cooldown trades more. We might be talking about shooting the outside target first more. Yeah, this is a pretty common thing, but other teams will be at different points in their development cycle, or they'll have intuited this or known this because they've worked with other teams before and it just stuck for them, and we might instead be talking about how they use their ults and their ults. Okay, what should be an initiation, what shouldn't? Okay, what's the best way to use duplicate in this specific meta where opponents are likely to be running these things, and because that stuff starts evolving as we get deeper and deeper into metas. Once you really know what the opponents are going to be running, how do we not lose to grabs? Is the answer rally? Is the answer to is the answer to take the fight super slow in a defensive position and not let them have a good engage? Is the answer to jump them really fast and have your diva cover them? This stuff evolves, we'll just say. Okay. I think I missed a question. Anton says, at Temporal, who is the most aggressive owl player in your opinion? Asking because I've never seen you review a VOD and be like, oh, this person is good. Oh, got it. And then I said, your Tracer got it. Oh, most impressive. I thought you said aggressive. I don't know that I have a pick for most impressive owl player right now. I've watched some, but I haven't watched it as closely this season as I probably did in season 1 or 2. I would feel like not enough information for me to be like, yes, this is the guy or who's really put it together. Hey Temp, what do you think of off-angling D.Va to set up the aggro? I'm thinking ball dive brawl comps, but I don't know. Off-angling D.Va to set up is absolutely valid. She peels well from off angles, and part of what she does by peeling from off angles is she doesn't let tracers, balls, whatever, go in through her lane. Or go, so that she chips them down so that they can't dive easily. Oh, that works pretty well. She can also DM across her team well. But also, yes, her being at an awkward different angle, like if you have a situation where D.Va is standing up here and your Reinhardt is back here or whatever, it's kind of annoying and kind of hard for this team to push in and go deal with this, and they have to deal with D.Va first. So she's acting as Peel just by pressure relieving, just by not letting the team get in a good way. Or, oh, well, the Genji wanted to go up here, and oh, there's a D.Va that the Genji has to deal with first. That sort of thing. So do I think about off-angling D.Va to set up for the aggro? Oh, for the aggro? Yeah, that absolutely is valid too. Your off-angles are what makes your dive work. Again, your dive is much, much more powerful if, say, we set this up as our box of doom, and we've set our tracer up over here, we've set our D.Va up over here, we've set our Hammond up over here, and now this is a dive from 3 different directions, and that is way, way more powerful than, okay, everyone go forward at it. Makes me sad. Way, way more powerful. It is Shu? Okay, cool. Cool. I know peel is important for these, so it's tough to think about. Is it better to set up from core or to angle? It's better to angle, and your angles actually do both. Your angles do peel for you, and they enable aggression on D.Va. How much the importance of lane control plus angles pop up? A lot. A lot. A little less in super brawl heavy metas, a little more in poke and dive metas, but they show up in all metas. A lot in all metas. Did I like Blue's Game Buster review yesterday? I watched. I think I actually watched all of it because he came up after the first round. It was interesting to see. I certainly wasn't like, oh my god, this is terrible or anything like that. It was interesting to see him do it. I thought it was fine. He had some good, valuable things that he had to say about what routes he would take, who he wanted him to be on, how he really wanted to emphasize the no, get the aggressive spot, use the fade orb coalescence there. Like he had good stuff to say, and I hope Game Buster got value out of it. Review Blues review. Probably not right now. Don't roast him as hard as your Overwatch. I wouldn't roast him as hard as your Overwatch because it's better content than your Overwatch, just like I didn't roast A10 as hard as your Overwatch. Okay. We're going to go ahead and call it there. I have some off-stream coaching to do now. I'll probably do some more stream later, but I have some off-stream coaching to do now, so I will see you guys down the line later. If you guys are enjoying that content, drop that like, consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one.